I texted my wife earlier today. I actually, I for the last week, and this is because of allergies and things like that. For the last week, I've had pretty much a headache every single day, and my shoulder hurts and stuff like that. It's all tension. It's all muscles. And I texted her today. I said, "Great news. The headache that I've had on my right side of my body for the last week is completely gone. And it's moved completely over to the left side."
Well, at least your right side's getting a break now.
Exactly. Well, this happens every year. I have, it's a great story. I went into the doctor once because I've had headaches all my life. It's something that I'm just used to. And I went to a doctor once because I had started getting headaches every single day, and it was unusual for me to have them every day. And he sat me down and he walked through and he asked me what my symptoms were, and we discussed, and he went back and forth. And this was a teaching hospital too. So he had a student there, and they walked out and they said, "We're going to do a little bit of research. Can you wait a couple minutes?" And I said, "Sure." They walked out, they came back in, and the doctor said, "I have great news." I said, "Okay, you do not have migraines." I'm like, "Oh, that is great news. So it's just a regular headache." He said, "No, I didn't say that. You don't have migraines. You have cluster headaches. They're much worse."
Oh, great.
I'm like, "Thanks, doc." He's like, "You're welcome." So anyway, that's not any part of this story really, but I have cluster headaches, and that's what they are. They're on one side of the head, usually caused by tension and a few other things, but it's triggered by allergies. And I don't have bad allergies, but I do have some, especially living here in Nashville, which I have been told by people that are native to Nashville that the Native Americans called the valley that Nashville sits in the Valley of Sickness. And it's because it's very, very high in allergens. So a lot of people that live here who may never have had allergies in their lives might suffer from some sort of allergic reaction to the pollen that's in the air.
But you've had headaches even prior to living there though, right?
Yeah, but not quite as frequent or as common. And that's kind of the point I'm getting to. So every spring, I don't have a lot of allergies. Like I don't have the sniffles. I don't cough. I don't wheeze. I don't have blurriness or any of that stuff that a lot of other people that have allergies suffer from. But what I do have every spring are these headaches that will start on one side. They'll last about a week. They'll go to the other side. They'll last about a week, but then I'll be fine for the rest of the year.
Wow.
And again, it happens every single year around this time. So it is an allergic reaction, or at least my uneducated, non-doctorial, or medical doctor expertise will say it's probably allergies. And so while we're traveling, which now I'm leading into what we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
While we're traveling, I will leave the Nashville area and go, say, to Southern Illinois, where you can physically see the landmass go from a hilly valley type area to you're going up a big hill and then it's flat.
It's true.
Once I get up there, a lot of times the headaches will just go away. Just gone.
Wow.
Because I'm not in the valley anymore.
So you should be an Illinoisian.
No, I should probably move home. But that's getting my wife to do that's probably going to be near
I'm with
impossible.
Your wife on that. I don't mind telling you.
Anyway.
Because you don't want to go to colder weather. Actually, you do.
I know most people. I love Nashville. I will put up with 2 weeks of headaches to live in Nashville. I really do like Nashville a lot. And if 2 weeks is all I have to suffer, I'm perfectly happy with it because I know people are far worse off than I am.
Have you ever gone through allergy testing to find out?
I have not.
Yeah, I haven't either.
It's never been an issue until I've lived here.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that's something that would make sense, to find out, to isolate what it is and see if there's something specific that, shots or whatever that you can do that would adjust. And
it could, but see, you're making an argument that I just like in the last episode when we talked about working out or going to the gym, we're talking about things I just don't want to do, and going to the doctor for something like this.
We both decided we need trainers. We're unwilling or incapable of making the call.
Absolutely. I just need a doctor following me around all the time going, "No, you really need to go see a doctor.
You have cluster headaches. You have cluster headaches.
Yep. You better get on some medication." Well, I mean, there are a couple ways. In all seriousness, there are a couple things you have to look at when it comes to that. One, I don't want to be on medications. I do believe in Western medicine. I think it's fantastic, but I do think, my personal opinion, not trying to be political, I do think we as Americans are over medicated. And I do also feel that there is no reason to suffer. I do want to stay away from as many modern medications as I possibly can, or I don't want to be on medications that I have to be on every day for the rest of my life, unless it's life threatening.
When I was your age, I don't get to say that often enough, but it's true. When I was your age, I felt the same way. And so I started on blood pressure medication. Well, maybe I was 35 or 36 years old.
Okay. Wow.
And that's a long time ago, as you know. But I said the same thing. I fought it tooth and nail. I do not want to be on meds my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, let me try to fix it with, nutrition and working out and all of that, to no avail. It did not impact my blood pressure. So at that time, I went on, fighting it every step of the way, went on medication for blood pressure with some success. And as I learned over time that sometimes your body gets used to certain medications and you have to switch it up every so often. And so since then, let's just say I take a handful of pills every day now. Some of them are fitness related, so I'm electing to take them.
Okay. Well, let's qualify that though, because are they supplements or vitamins?
They're supplements, so
they're not prescription.
They are not, but okay. I have some prescription. But
I'm excluding those because I do take those. I think if you're using the right ones, I think those are just fine because they're supplements, and that to me is a different realm. I'm talking pure Western medication.
Yeah.
But blood pressure is understandable. I mean, if it affects your life and you have tried everything and the only thing you can do to fix it is to take medication, I'm fine with that. But I think there are alternatives to things that you can try
for sure
before you're stuck to the medication.
Well, let's face it. Most of our problems in America with health, I think, have to do with nutrition as opposed
diet
to
and nutrition. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a big part of it, and exercise too. I mean, we can loop that in as well. But I think that's one of the biggest things. And just in general, I don't think we eat well. You can just see by the obesity rates that have been. And I say this as a non-thin man. And that's how I choose to describe myself.
I have to be very careful there because I was about to say I 100% agree, but it was going to be right after you said that, and that's not what I 100% agree with.
But you can. I think that I think that a big part of it is just yes, eating better, taking care of yourself, and so on. And by the way, I will not refer to myself as non-thin man. I prefer to go back to the jeans that kids used to wear, Husky. Remember those Husky jeans?
I remember them. I know of them.
Well,
I don't remember them
because I was a rail when I was a kid, like my son is.
Me too. I was partial to Zubas. Do you remember Zubas?
Gosh, no. I remember.
It was only really a northern thing. They came out again.
Zima. That was different.
Also making a comeback.
Which, making a comeback. Funny. And it will force you to wear Husky jeans.
That's true. Very true.
Drink enough of it.
That is very, very true. Well, so I'll agree. But of course, we're going in the wrong direction, John.
No, we're not.
Well, is it really the wrong direction when it comes to PoddiMouths?
We can always steer back.
Yeah. Well, really what I was going to talk about. So we're talking about medications and things like that, but really going back to the beginning of the conversation, back to the headaches and things like that. So I carry an arsenal of things with me because as everyone knows very well, we are kind of road warriors. And we've been talking about the fun side of being a road warrior, where to eat and places to stay and things like that. And we have a fabulous Instagram account literally at eat, period, drink, period, road. Check it out. See some of our fun adventures and some of the things that we eat and drink while we're on the road. But we won't share with you there some of the bad things that we prepare for being on the road. So, John, I am interested in hearing how you prepare for the road. And what I mean by that is
we should have another one for all the bad things that happen.
We should.
Can we call it eat, drink, crap or something like that?
Absolutely. I'm
sorry. Okay, go on with your question.
I mean, that's a perfect segue into this. So one of the things that I have a pack in my car, I have a pack in my suitcase, a pack in my briefcase, and sometimes, just depending on how I'm traveling, especially if I'm traveling in an airplane, and this, forgive me, listeners, for going too far, too personal, but I carry an Imodium with me all the time, just in case. I don't remember the last time I've had to use one, but I know that if I don't have it with me, I will probably have some sort of stomach issue, or I've eaten something that I really shouldn't have while I'm on the road. And when you're on the road, it's hard to find a bathroom that you really want to visit for a long period of time. You know,
that's true. Well, let's see. Do I have Imodium with me? I don't think so. Although I'm maybe not as susceptible as you are. The only time I can't get to a Walgreens, for example, is when I'm in a plane.
Yes.
So. Yeah, that's different. And I fly more than you do.
Yes, you do.
But when you're driving and you're in the middle of nowhere driving, I get that. Yeah, I don't think that's a ridiculous thing to have, that you don't have it. You want to have it with you.
Right.
Sure, I think that's perfectly workable, and I don't think there's any embarrassment in that.
There really isn't. I wouldn't be talking about it if I was actually embarrassed by it. But other things,
yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't. Maybe I'm just not embarrassed by a lot.
You're embarrassed by all the time.
Yeah, probably. But
no, not really. You're not easily embarrassed.
I'm not easily embarrassed.
Lord knows I've tried.
So other things, we were talking about headaches earlier. So very few things actually help me with my headaches. I have to take Excedrin migraine, which is also the same as Excedrin tension headache. I know if you look at the ingredients, they all are exactly the same because it's a mixture of acetaminophen, aspirin, and caffeine, which I also carry acetaminophen and aspirin with me, usually in the same bottle, because I do drink, as most of our listeners know, copious amounts of caffeine. So
they do.
If I've had caffeine already in the day, I don't want to add any more caffeine if I get a headache. So I carry the other two, and I kind of do my own mixing. So I have that with me just in case I have a headache.
Yep.
And then allergy medicine as well, because it does help once in a while.
What do you take? Do you take it over the counter?
Over the counter, yeah. I stay away from prescription as much as I can, and none of this stuff I take every day. It's only when it's needed.
Yeah, sure. So what do you usually, like Claritin or what?
Yeah, it's a Claritin. And when I say these, I use these terms like we use Kleenex. They're not usually the name brand.
Yep.
So if I say Excedrin, it's usually an off-brand Excedrin, like the Walgreens brand or something like that, Kroger brand, or K. Roger. Sorry, I already messed that up, K. Roger. But
yes.
But I just want to be prepared. So what else? When I travel, I usually carry something for my neck, to like something you put in a microwave, which you probably relate to because you go to the places that have microwaves in the room
often.
And then I carry my own pillow with me, and that's more of a recent development.
Interesting. So do you?
Because a lot of the hotel pillows are just either too flat or too full, and this one is just perfect.
All right. Do you have a My Pillow?
No, I do not have a My Pillow. I have a, I think it's made out of bamboo. It's a bamboo pillow.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting. Okay. And
you never thought of any of this when I brought up this idea for a topic today, did you? You didn't think I was that neurotic.
I wasn't sure where you were going, but oh no, I knew you were this neurotic. Yeah. I've known that for years. No, I the reason I asked about my pillow is because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them in my house.
Wow.
Well, we found pillows that work for us, and
Yeah.
they're actually pretty comfortable, and I can suck it up and live with the hotel ones usually, but at home, yeah, I like the My Pillow ones, and it's probably whatever you get used to. But Bamboo,
Right.
what made you go to that?
Quite honestly, we were online and we looked at pillows and there was a deal at 50% off. So I'm like, let's give it a try.
Because it was a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have many different types of pillows all over this house that we've bought to try. We have the ergonomic pillow, the memory foam pillows. We've got rice-filled pillows, just something that we can find because both my wife and I suffer from tension in our upper backs.
Oh, okay.
Usually that is aggravated by sleeping position.
No.
So we just try to find the one that doesn't cause as much strain on our backs and necks, which oftentimes leads to headaches.
Uh-huh.
Or at least that's what I've been told.
Yeah. And so does your wife?
We're just trying everything.
Does your wife get headaches?
She does.
Does
She gets migraines.
Oh, no.
Not cluster headaches, migraines. There's a difference.
That's what the doctor said.
Cluster headaches are much worse.
Do you tell her that? Tell her that when she has a migraine next time.
Then I used to tell her that, but I got sick of sleeping on the couch. So
that's why you needed the better pillows.
Exactly.
For the couch.
Yep.
So what else? I mean, I know. Okay, so I'll add to your list. I carry antacid with me.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Because, so I've got a little bit of acid reflux. So one of the medications I'm on, which is prescription, is it's called pantoprazole, and it is I'm probably saying that wrong.
It's close. I've actually been on that before.
And so I had, I'll be quick with the story, but I was in the ER one time just because I was having this, which you assume it masks itself as chest pain. I mean, that's what it is. And people who think they're having grabbers or heart attacks are often having some acid reflux thing. That's the way it was for me.
Yep.
And so I'm in there in the ER and I said to the doctor, well, let's assume it's acid reflux. What would you prescribe to someone who had that? And he said, well, pantoprazole. And I said, lay it on me. And he did. And within 5 minutes of taking it, the pain was gone.
Oh, there you go.
And so I've been on it ever since. I still occasionally, even though that takes care of almost all the acidic problems I might have from eating, I still occasionally will need an antacid. Not very often, but from time to time. So that's one thing I travel with.
So they put me on it for just a brief time. And then they said after that, just use Imodium. Not Imodium. I'm sorry. Omeprazole. Omeprazole. What is it?
Hold on. I have to finish laughing about the Imodium.
So go ahead. I'm waiting.
Your stomach. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Imodium. And I haven't pooped in a week and my stomach still hurts. Okay. Go ahead. Now I'm done.
What is the, it's over the counter. It's something OTC.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Imodium.
No, I know what you mean.
It's omeprazole or something like that. Something. I'll think of it when I'm not trying to think of it, but that's that. Okay. So they said, just take that. And so anytime I have that issue, I will do a 14-day series and then it's done. And then it won't bother me for 6 to 8 months. But I always carry a pack with me just in case, just for that same reason. Because when it comes on hard and it stays for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you can knock it out right away, I mean, it goes, and that's
exactly
kind of the beauty of it. Yeah. Okay. So what else? Other things that you?
Well, I gave you a whole bunch, so I'm curious to know about you. What else do you carry?
Well, most of it isn't health.
What else makes you nervous? Even if you don't carry something for it, what else when you're traveling makes you really nervous and kind of sometimes dictates how you travel?
Wow. You know what? Very little. I don't, very little bothers me anymore. And maybe that's
you are so
blessing
lucky.
of getting older. but I don't allow myself to be bothered or stressed out as much as I used to be. And you know, as we've talked before, I just have recently finished up with a bout of cancer, if you didn't know that. And so
I didn't.
You did.
Oh, that's
I say it
surprising.
every episode now, it seems like, but that changes a little bit.
That's my fault.
It's not. It changes a little bit how you look at things, and for me, at least, it has. And so,
Sure.
If I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. Or if I'm stressed about something, I'm either going to deal with the stress or I'm going to remove that from my radar, whatever it is. So I really don't have stuff that I'm overly concerned about, I guess. Or maybe I just can't think of them.
Well, I'm also talking about, you had mentioned in one of our previous episodes traveling, you've started to stay at more of these hotels that have the efficiency kitchens in it for various reasons. So one thing that I do, I carry tea with me, and even to get more nerdy, and we may have covered this on the Java yes. episode. Anyone who's listened to that recently can chime in. I carry tea with me. I carry loose leaf tea with me. So I'll make a tea, and they're different teas, different teas for different occasions. I've got green tea just for
very good
general health. And I've got sleepy time tea if I need that. I've got tea that'll help you get rid of the effects of the Imodium for the times when you're having the reverse issue.
So if you have too much of that tea, do you have to take more Imodium then?
I guess you could if that was what you were trying to do, but I rarely have that problem.
Okay. I'm just curious. I wanted to know where the line was. That
it's a very fine line.
I've had too much tea. I can tell. So, I get all that. Is tea especially and I know how you are about your coffee and your tea, and I'm much the same way. I don't drink enough tea, but when I do, it's usually the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't name any names like you can because you're a student of that stuff. But it's there are some where I'll use I've got one of those the metal tea ball things.
Yeah.
And so I'll put either loose leaf or they're like almost like pellets of tea inside that, and it brews. I mean, it's a beautiful brew. That's what I have when I have tea at home. We have a Nespresso thing. Did we talk about that before?
I don't know if we talked about the Nespresso specifically, but we
bought one, and I'm not going to go into great detail other than to say that we got one and my wife loves it and it's delicious and all of that. I can take it or leave it. I'm just fine with hotel room coffee as long as it's strong enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I typically have. Don't tell my wife that because
no. Well, so your wife and I think would have similar tastes when it comes to things like that. And we won't get too far down the coffee tea conversation road,
because you know how we go there,
right? But I had so we have a Keurig in the house, and I do drink the Keurig actually instead of taking the time to have pour over this morning. I did have a couple of Keurigs. But I mean, it's not bad coffee. It's not, I don't dislike it whatsoever, but I just really like the pour over. We've discussed that. I'm not going to get into that. But I was having a conversation with my wife just before we left for vacation, which if you guys are listening to this, I think I just came back from vacation. I'm not sure when this one actually is going to launch, but anyway, so we're planning for vacation.
Wait. I think I just came back from vacation. I
think I just came back. Well, we're in the future. These air in the future from when we're actually recording them.
Vacation?
Well, we recorded them before I went on vacation. Recorded a series before. Anyway,
you said you just came
it's neither here nor there.
You have to act like
I just came back from vacation, people. Okay, I'm very relaxed. Can you tell? I brought my Imodium with me too.
Would you take some just to entertain the audience?
Right now? Well, I don't need it right now. No, right now I need the tea. Anyway.
I didn't anticipate this would be that much fun, this episode.
I'm glad I could something to the challenge.
You've assisted.
Step up to the challenge. Okay, now I can't even talk. Thanks, John. but I'm not embarrassed about it.
Not only can I not poop, I can't talk either.
I get some tea for that, too.
I can't even talk about pooping.
John, everyone poops.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, so back to my story.
I'm laughing at
going
my
to get
own
us back
joke.
halfway on the tracks.
Okay,
One track mind. So we were talking about planning for the trip, and we were talking about taking, because we are staying, or we have stayed, or we did stay at a house. And I know the house has got things in it, but we were talking about bringing things that we like. And I was saying, well, I'll bring this package of coffee that I brought, and I'll bring the pour over, the Chimex pour over thing. And she's like, no. I'm like, why? You love the coffee. She said, no, I really don't. I can't taste the difference. I don't really care. Let's just try to limit what we're bringing, and we don't need to bring the pour over because I could care less, and I don't think anyone else does either.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, I love you for being so forthwith with that information and blunt. But on the same token, you told me you liked it. Damn it.
Apparently she did that to make you happy.
Yes. That's what a good wife does, right? That's what good husbands do for their wives.
That's a definite yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I can relate to that. I think it tastes phenomenal. I like the way it tastes when I do a pour over, especially if I do a good one or with a new coffee. I have a great bourbon aged barrel or bourbon barrel burnt. How's it? Bourbon barrel smoked bean.
I think bourbon barrel burned bean is a lot better just because of the alliteration.
Anyway, it's a really good coffee, but I really enjoy being able to do those pour overs, but I think most people are not necessarily at that nerdy level like I am. And it sounds like what your wife might be at. My wife might be at too.
Okay, I could go down a road here, but I'm not going to.
Why not? It is the PoddiMouths.
Well, you're right about that. I just think that my wife, if it's delicious and expensive, she's going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
My wife is more like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if it's, and honestly, and it's not that I won't pay the money or am I against paying the money, because I'm not. I don't. But if the Nespresso, for example, it's like it's foamy, and not that bothers me, but it's just it doesn't necessarily make it any better as far as I'm concerned. It just
right.
But we have all the different flavors, and I'll admit, I don't mind. I like heating up the milk. We've got a steamer thing too, which whips the milk and blah, blah, blah. So adding that to it with a little stevia, I think it's great. It's very fine, but I'll only have 1 cup of it. So yeah, I can take it or leave it. Frankly, I'm fine with a Starbucks, or I'm fine with I actually drank the coffee on the plane today.
Oh my God.
Well, it's Starbucks.
Are you? And I'm surprised you're still alive.
It's Starbucks, but it has a funky aftertaste because they put them in these I think it's because of this. They put them in these plastic containers on the plane. Yeah. And it just tastes kind of plasticky, I guess. And I was even in first class. So I got it in a nice ceramic mug.
You're so fancy.
I'm just lucky today. That's all. It's not happened as much recently. But anyway, but the coffee was kind of sucky, and I drank it anyway because it was warm and black and delicious, sort of.
So what else, John?
Do you travel with coffee?
I do not travel with coffee. That is,
you're thinking about it, though, aren't you?
What? So
this is awesome.
Quite honestly, we've had this conversation before, which is why we have that other Instagram account. When I travel, I try to seek out local coffee shops. So carrying my own coffee kind of defeats the purpose.
But what if you need an emergency coffee?
Then I will drink the hotel swill, and it is swill in my opinion.
It kind of is, but I still drink it because I need something.
Yeah. Well,
right away.
We have talked about this before. Sometimes I detox from coffee. simply because and right now I'm actually, probably after vacation do a detox. Well, now that I'm back from vacation, do a detox from coffee because I have been drinking it every day just to get the caffeine kick. And I don't want to drink coffee for that alone. I want to drink it for the taste. I want to drink it for the enjoyment. So I'll take a couple of weeks off of drinking coffee just to kick that. And
when you said coffee detox, I just assumed that you would just stop putting whiskey in it.
Or you went the whiskey route. I went with the coffee enema.
So one end and the other end. I guess if I had my druthers, I'd be talking about my end, not yours.
Oh boy.
Coffee enema. Well, yeah, I'm trying to wean myself off coffee enema. Well, sir, we're going to need a little more time on the clock for that. Wow.
I need my boost today. Stick it up.
Yes, you do. I think you should drink Boost if you're going to get your boost.
There you go. There you go.
A message from our
anyway. So no, I don't take coffee with me because of that. For that reason, I want to seek out different coffee shops and explore and all those good things. But getting away from the food and the drug side of things, other things that I carry with me for and this is more positive than negative. A lot of what we've been talking about are things to avoid, but I also carry my golf clubs with me too. And I keep those in my car for various reasons, some maybe protection, but also so I can golf once in a while.
Protection?
No. And actually one of the reasons I carry my golf clubs with me, I do love to golf and I do have a lot of fun golfing, but as I had mentioned earlier, something that I suffer from, my wife suffers from too, is our backs get very, very tight.
Yep.
I don't know what her reason is, but I like to think that part of it is because I did do a lot of golfing when I was young, and I do have injuries from golf. I know that's kind of funny for people, but golfers do get injured. I do have some injuries that do cause my back muscles to tighten, my shoulder muscles to tighten up. And one of the only things that I can do to really work that tension out and kind of stretch my muscles is to swing a golf club. So I carry my golf clubs with me so I can go do that whenever I feel a lot of tension in my back and my shoulders.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so do you overswing? I mean, I imagine you have because you enjoy playing golf. So I'm envisioning you with a pretty nice golf swing.
Well, thank you. A lot of people have said that. I do not overswing. No, I actually, and I'm taking this from other people, please. So don't think that I am saying this because I think I have a swing like this. But for people that are familiar with golf, a lot of people say my swing is like Freddie Couples.
Oh, wow.
Which is a very easy, very smooth swing.
Well, and the reason I'm guessing that is not so I can allow you to brag about how smooth your golf swing is.
Right. But I'm only saying that because other people did.
Right. I understand because you're not braggadocious.
Well, I am, just not about that.
Not by nature. You're not. You're very self.
I try not to be.
Yourself.
I do like to talk about myself a lot. That's why we have a podcast. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, if you can't make fun of yourself, who can you make fun of?
Who can you make fun of? Because you know yourself better than anyone.
Right.
Okay. So and that is interesting because I would think a nice smooth swing would indeed loosen up your back a little bit and be more comfortable. If you swing hard like I tend to, and speaking of injury, I watched Tiger Woods, how he used to swing when he was younger. And that's probably how he damaged his back so bad. Like,
oh, absolutely.
He would just swing and of course make perfect square contact, unlike I would ever do.
Right.
But yeah, man, he just had such a hard swing. And that's, I think, why a lot of people injure themselves.
Yes.
You, though, that's interesting that you're able to stretch out a little bit. If you, this is hypothetical, if you flew more, would you check your clubs and bring them with you?
No, that would be too much.
So you would just have a sore back?
I just have a sore back until I got home.
Would you rent clubs?
And I guess let's quantify that or qualify that. If I were going somewhere and I'd be away from home for 2 weeks, I might consider taking my golf clubs. But the way we travel, we're not gone long enough to really justify taking our golf clubs.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the guys on the business trip I was just on went to a baseball game, went to an Atlanta Braves game last night. And I would have, although it started a little bit late, and I had to be up bright and early for a flight, so I opted not to. But interestingly, I could look out the hotel room window. I was on the 16th floor and could perfectly see the park, the ballpark. It was awesome.
Oh, that's fun.
It was a beautiful view. What's it called? SunTrust Park is where the Braves.
Yeah, they built that after I left Atlanta, so I haven't seen the new park.
Yeah, it's interesting, and it's surrounded by residential housing, and also, well, so this is how I know there's a Harley store there. I'm so one dimensional, but when I go into towns like you, I like to kind of check out the local fair, and for me it's usually the local Harley dealerships, and I'll buy a t-shirt there, and they have it emblazoned on the back where it's from, and I probably have 40 of those t-shirts.
I'm probably going to get a lot of comments from the people that listen to this podcast that are actually coworkers of ours.
Yes.
But does our company actually, and please don't get into too much detail, but does our company actually have products specifically for motorcycle dealerships?
As I understand, and this is, and you and I can claim ignorance because we're not in that branch of the business. There is some exposure on that end. I don't know to what degree, and I'm not certain they wouldn't like it to be more. So
I'm just curious about that. I know I'm confident about only one transportation-based business that we are not in, and that is aeronautics, as far as I know.
Interesting.
But I didn't know about, that was another part I didn't know about.
I can't tell you too much about that, and I'm not sure about, DMSs, which are dealership management systems, and some certainly motorcycle dealerships need them just like automotive dealerships that we deal with most often. But anyway, but again, we digress. But it's when I went there, there's a Harley dealership, and it's right in the neighborhood of SunTrust Park. And so
nice.
And so there are no motorcycles at this. It's just a storefront, so people will come in and buy crap like I do. But I looked right down the street from the Harley store is the entrance to the ballpark, and it's beautiful. And I'm thinking, that would be a great place to see a game or to live in that neighborhood and just walk to the game. How awesome would that be?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, do you like baseball? Do you like watching baseball? Because there's different levels of liking things.
Yes.
I fully recognize that.
Qualify it by saying this, that I enjoy going to ball games. I can't watch it on TV, or it's not as much fun to watch on TV.
Right.
And I haven't been to a lot of ballparks, but I've been to probably 8 to 10 ballparks around.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good number, though.
Well, but
really
as much as we travel, it should be and could be more.
Absolutely. Yeah. Next time you're here in Nashville, I'll take you to the Sound Stadium. I think you'd enjoy it. It's a brand new stadium. I haven't even been to it, but I've been up to it. It's kind of neat, and it's in the middle of an old neighborhood. So they aren't really building. They do have some new things around it, but a lot of it's historic.
Awesome. That would be fun.
But you were talking about the Harley stores that don't have motorcycles in it. There is, and I'm sure a lot of listeners are familiar with Antique Archaeology, which is there's a store in Iowa that was the original, and now there's a store in Nashville. It's based on the television show from the History Channel with I can't remember.
Oh yeah, it's the
Pickers, American Pickers.
Yes. Thank you.
So they have a store here, and next to that store, there is a Harley store that has a lot of normal Harley stuff, but also a few Harley antiques and things like that. It's a really neat little place. You bringing up that store, what you had just mentioned, just reminded me of that. So I'll have to take you there too. It's very close to the stadium.
That would be cool. And we talked about Seattle too. There's another one like that that's just a storefront without. I think they may have had one motorcycle in there for show, but that's all they have, and right down on Alaskan Way, down by the waterfront.
So that leads me to another question. When it comes to things that we bring along with us, I have seen you many, many times when we're done working and we're going out for dinner or things like that. You're sporting a Harley t-shirt or some sort of Harley thing. And sometimes even, I know you said you don't wear leathers that often, but sometimes a motorcycle jacket.
Yes.
Is there any reason besides the fact that you just love it, and which is completely understandable, but is there any reason that you bring stuff like that along with you when you travel?
It's comfort for me. Okay. And this is a silly thing. So I own, as I was mentioning, probably 40 dealership t-shirts from Harley stores around the country. Again, just because we travel a lot, then they're way too expensive. I think the cheapest one on sale usually is $25 to $30, and it's a t-shirt, but for some reason, and I would imagine there's some oversight of this, there are consistent in sizing to a real degree. So they fit me well, or as well as I can be fit with my fat ass. But I'm comfortable in them. And so that's why jeans and a Harley t-shirt and, tennis shoes or boots or whatever I have with me. I seem to be traveling with my riding boots most often lately because they're comfortable.
Right.
So, but it looks like I'm in some sort of a normal outfit, and I guess I'm comfortable in them. So that's what I wear most often.
Okay.
So I usually bring, cause I can wear them to the gym. I can wear them out to dinner if it's a casual place. And so I guess maybe that's also part of it is, if I wear them all day long on a plane and getting in, and then I go to the gym, I can wear that same Harley t-shirt in the gym, but then I throw it in the wash because I'm not going to wear it out that night. I promise, no matter what.
Well, is there anything else you do or bring with you to make life on the road a little bit easier?
Lint roller.
Interesting. Okay.
And interestingly, one of our coworkers, Kim, who was with us in Atlanta, I took along a shirt, not a Harley shirt. It was a button-down shirt, long sleeve shirt, and it looks like it's covered in lint. And so Kim came up to me. So it's got these little white dots all over it, and it's a dark shirt. Kim came up and she's like looking at my back and trying to brush this stuff off. And I said, it's supposed to be there. She said, that's the best shirt ever because you don't ever have to use the lint roller.
That's hilarious. That's really funny.
So I bring a lint roller along, though, just
okay.
I guess because I've needed it sometimes in the past. How about you? What else?
I'm trying to think.
Do you bring tennis shoes just in case you go to the gym?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I do, just in case I feel like I'm going to work out.
That's it.
And notice how I said that, feel like I'm going to work out.
I know, but you still bring them. So, I mean, that's even, that's laudable.
In all fairness, too, I don't just wear tennis shoes to work out. If I didn't have to wear dress shoes, and I do know of a couple of our coworkers who have dress shoes that are actually tennis shoes, but they look like dress shoes. So I'm thinking about that too. Yep. But if I worked in an office all day, I wouldn't wear anything but tennis shoes. So the minute I get into the hotel and I know I'm not seeing a client or a customer, tennis shoes are on. If I'm going out to dinner, tennis shoes are on.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm a big tennis shoe fan. But yes, I do carry tennis shoes with me.
Yeah, I am too. I don't know. I guess I wear them a little less than I used to. I'm not sure why. I guess your tastes changed over time or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I always have them with me, and mine mainly for working out. But yeah, sometimes for dinner as well.
Yeah. And I also I don't carry them with me when I travel, but I also love flip flops. So if I'm not wearing tennis shoes, I'm wearing flip flops.
You don't. Do you ever? I mean, if you go to some place warm, and again, I know I fly more than you do, but so I just
we've talked about this. No way in hell would I ever wear my flip flops at an airport or on an airplane.
No. But take them with you. At least pack them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because if there's a chance, much like the gym, if there's a chance I'm going to go to the pool,
oh yeah,
I want to have flip flops with me. Just
that makes sense.
I don't.
No, that makes perfect sense. No, the vacation I'm going on or just returned from, I will have probably 2 pairs of flip flops in my bag, along with my tennis shoes.
Like dress
but
flip-flops?
Those are probably the only 3 pairs of shoes I will have with me.
Dress flip flops? I mean, why 2 pair?
Well, sort of. Yeah, I mean, one's going to be brown and one's going to be black. You got to match your shorts, man.
Well,
come on.
Will one have like?
I am a fashion plate.
You don't have to tell things that are evident. Are like Huarache sandals? Do you ever wear those?
No. So, but you do make you made a point earlier by saying that, your tastes change.
Yep.
I used to wear sandals. I used to hate sandals. I used to hate flip-flops. But I've gone through different phases in my life where, okay, I guess I could wear sandals, and I wore sandals all the time.
Do you wear sandals with socks?
Oh, hell no. I don't wear sandals anymore. That's my point. I went through a phase where I love sandals, and now I don't like sandals. And now I'm in my flip-flop phase. And I used to hate flip-flops up until I was probably, 25 years old, maybe even older. I wouldn't go anywhere near flip-flops. And now I wear them all the time. I'm wearing them right now, actually.
So if you wrote a book entitled My Flip-Flop Phase, would you spell flip-flop with PHs?
No, but that's a good idea. I like that.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Or phase with an F-A-Z-E.
I'm actually reading a really good book. I'll have to share it with you. I won't share it on air until I finish it, but they talk about the difference in how you write words and what that actually means when you're dealing with business and trying to control and win arguments.
Really? Okay. I'm just digesting this as you're saying it.
I'll share it with you later. I'll share it with our fans when I'm done with it, I promise. And by the time I get back from vacation, or since I'm back from vacation, I've just finished it. It's my vacation book. It's awesome. What I plan to read on vacation.
Well, that's good. When we air this, then I'll have the pleasure of knowing that you'll be able to win more arguments.
Absolutely. I tell you what, I will post it on our Instagram at PoddiMouths, or at Eat Drink Road, and Facebook at PoddiMouths, and Twitter at Mouths Poddy. I'll post a picture up there of the book cover for anyone that's interested. Just about the time when this airs.
You can't say it.
How's that? Does that sound like a deal?
You can't say what it is now, or
you want to know why I can't say it right now, John? There's a really good reason.
Because you don't remember it.
Exactly.
I love this.
It's on the main floor. I'm on the 3rd floor, and I'm not getting up from this podcast to go down and read the title of the book.
I'm just thinking, though, that it's amazing that you admitted that, because you made it sound like to our listeners like, oh, well, wow, he's really got some integrity because he wants to read the whole thing before he does some sort.
Well, that's what I was going for, but you completely ruined it for me.
I totally knew it was some crap beside that. Eat, drink, crap. We're gonna have to invent that one now. We
will. I'll go get the account now. Oh man, That's funny.
Awesome. You are the man. Yeah. So
what else? Anything else that you? Well, here's one that is, and again, it's not necessarily the ugly side, but if you do it a lot, you could consider it an ugly side. Other things that I lug around with me, which is kind of new, at least since January, is I have my personal laptop along with my work laptop. I also carry around a microphone, a mic stand, and for a little while I was carrying the mixer, but now I don't carry the mixer with me.
Wow.
But for our podcasts.
That. You can do that because you don't have to put them in a plane, right?
Exactly. No, most of the stuff, the reason I carry a lot of the stuff that I carry is because I can.
Yeah.
I can leave it in the car if I absolutely have to. I don't leave my computer in the car. Anything that's extremely valuable, I don't leave in the car. But yeah, I can leave a lot of the stuff in the car, so I don't have to lug it everywhere. But it's still, when I was traveling, I used to work for a company called Small Business Television, sbtv.com. It was a .com, and we did video. This was before YouTube. I think we've talked about it on the podcast before.
Yeah.
But my job, I traveled a lot with that job, but my job was to manage the production. And many times I was lugging camera gear around with me. I'd be carrying 2 cameras. We call them sticks, but tripods and audio equipment, microphones, things like that. I'd have to lug all of that. And usually I would have help, 1 or 2 other people, but along with my clothes and my computer, we'd be lugging it across many different cities and trying to get those things into taxi cabs and things like that. So it's just a natural part of travel, depending on your job. And right now, one of our jobs, our night job, along with our day job, is to do this podcast. So I do carry the equipment with me to make sure that our customers, our listeners have a truly exceptional experience when they're listening to our podcast.
I'm sure they've all commented on how wonderful your voice sounds. And that's thanks.
I actually have had a couple of comments. My boss, I guess he's not my boss anymore, but one of my bosses actually has said, you have a really nice voice for podcasting.
Well, okay.
I'm like, you're the first person in my life that's ever said that. Normally I hear you have a face for radio and a voice for silent film.
But I have to say that as you were saying that, your voice took on a much different characteristic. It was,
was it sensual like that? Should I, in my next career, I'm going to take all calls like
900
this.
number calls. Maybe that would be the best.
Exactly.
What do you
exactly? I could make hundreds of a dollar.
They're going to say, "Hey Nick, what are you wearing?" And you'll say, I just took some Imodium.
Flip-flops. I'm wearing flip-flops.
Some Imodium and I'm wearing
Hey, you can take some tea for that.
Then you won't have to pack both of them. It's like you're having a tea and Imodium fight while you travel.
Well, I am packing them. I'm just packing them in my body.
Wow.
Coyote, anyone? Coyote?
Oh my God.
Anyway,
you're killing me. But you do have a wonderful voice. It has such a.
Oh, thank you, John. I still think yours is better, but you're not going to let me say that online.
Say what?
Or live. I still think yours is better. I think you do have a good radio voice.
I actually have like a Wisconsin accent.
Well, I'm not talking accent. I'm talking purely the inflection. I'm talking the baritone nature.
Thank you.
The silky smooth baritone nature of your voice.
Vocal. You're talking about the actual horn, the baritone.
No, I'm talking about the tuba.
Oh yeah, I used to play that too, and that was not.
Me too.
Yeah, I know.
We've talked about that.
We did touch on that, I think, at one point or another.
Well, I think we've bored our audience enough with our I can't even call it shameless self-promotion because we're not promoting ourselves, we're promoting each other. So what would we call that? Our shameless promotion of each other?
This is a mutual appreciation foundation or something like that.
I see a new Instagram account in our future.
Admiration. That's what it is.
Mutual admiration. There you go. That's a good one. Yeah. I like that. And on that note, John, it's been fantastic.
It's always great talking with you, and thanks for letting me tease you. Because I honestly, the Imodium thing, you were going, should we talk about that? I'm going, oh hell yes, we're talking about Imodium.
I thought it was the other way around, John.
The entire podcast.
John, we're going to talk about Imodium. I don't see where that's going to be funny.
That's not what I know. I can make Imodium funny, absolutely.
I can make a lot of shit funny.
I've done it without sound effects, which is I didn't.
You see where I went there with that? Imodium shit funny.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
We all heard.
You were just ignoring it because it really wasn't that funny. I understand.
No, it was really anticipated, I think, by all of us. Our listeners.
Yeah, I do that once in a while.
No, that was fine. I just am amazed that we did it without sound effects.
Well, I haven't edited yet. Anyway, I would love to hear from our listeners and to see if anyone else brings anything strange or unusual along with them, or if there's the dark side of traveling, if there's something that you prepare for when you're traveling. Anything that's not illegal, please, or immoral. Well, okay, immoral. That's a fuzzy line there, but just do your best.
Please do not send. I mean, if it's some weirdness or whatever, or do not send naked pictures of yourselves, ladies, to PoddiMouths.com. Please do not email us. What's our email address?
At PoddiMouths@gmail.com.
Please just don't. But it's PODDIMOUTHS.
Knew that was coming.
Please.
Oh, John. But do send us your feedback at PoddiMouths on Instagram, PoddiMouths on Facebook, at Mouths Poddy on Twitter. I would love to get into some Twitter conversations. I don't think a lot of our listeners must be of a certain generation. We had a generational conversation earlier, and I won't get into it too far, but talking about the difference between being comfortable using Facebook versus Instagram versus Snapchat versus Twitter. We must not have a lot of people from the Twitter generation because we aren't getting a lot of feedback there, where we are getting a lot of feedback on Instagram and Facebook, which, again, no matter where you comment, we love it. We want to engage with you and talk to you, and anything that you bring up, we might actually bring up on our next PoddiMouths episode. So please reach out to us. Let us know how we're doing, what you'd like to hear, and any comments on any of our shows. We'd love to hear it.
We do love that.
All right, John?
We put the dick in predictable.
I love it. That's our new tagline.
Perfect.
All right, John, have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend, a rest of the week, wherever you are. I enjoyed my vacation that I'm about to leave for. And we'll talk to y'all really, really soon.
Thanks, Nick. See y'all.